You've seen these four letters before, right? I.N.R.I. They're on almost every depiction of the crucifixion. And for most of us, they're just there, a little historical detail. But what if I told you they held a completely different meaning, a secret hidden in plain sight, something that some have even called a lost word? What if this symbol wasn't just about the past, but about a fundamental law of the universe itself? So that's really the big question we're diving into today. Is I.N.R.I. just a historical claim, a judgment from 2,000 years ago? Or could it also be a profound statement about the very laws of nature? We're going to see how a journey from faith to science can be hidden inside just four little letters. Now, to understand how one symbol can have two totally different meanings, we first have to talk about the human quest for understanding itself. You know, that journey we all take away from just accepting what we're told and toward finding a deeper, more personal connection with the world. The source material for this explainer gives us this really fascinating concept for this journey, insan lashma. It's this idea of becoming fully human, and not just in a biological sense, but consciously. It's about that shift, moving beyond dogma and using our own reason, our own observations to figure out the universe. And it's this exact idea that opens the door for a symbol like I.N.R.I. to be seen in a whole new light.
Okay, so with that framework of personal inquiry in mind, let's get to the main event. This single acronym, I.N.R.I., holds two radically different meanings.
So, on one side you have the traditional Christian interpretation. Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. It's a very specific claim about a specific person at a specific moment in history. But then, there's this other take from a philosophical tradition known as the Rosicrucians, and it's a total game changer. Nature is completely renewed by fire. See the difference? This one isn't about history at all. It's about a universal, timeless principle of nature.
You know, this jump from one meaning to the other is a massive shift in perspective. It's really a journey from accepting a statement based on faith to discovering a principle by actually observing the world around you. Let's break down how that intellectual journey works.
Think of it as a three-step process. You start with judgment. That's accepting the fixed historical, religious claim. But then you shift to observation. You start looking at the world, at the cycles of the seasons, of life and death, and you see a pattern. And from there, you arrive at a principle, where you take that observation and turn it into a universal law about renewal and transformation.
And make no mistake, this is a very deliberate choice. As our source material points out, it's about intentionally taking a symbol that's rooted in religion and infusing it with a secular, scientific way of thinking. Basically, the symbol is transformed from something you just believe in to something you can actually observe and test for yourself.
So when they say, nature is renewed by fire, don't just think of a campfire. Think bigger, way bigger. Think about the sun's energy, the engine that drives literally all life on Earth. That's the fire. It's the heat that fuels the seasons, the energy behind growth, decay, and then rebirth. It's a dynamic, constant cycle, not a static, one-time historical event. And this, right here, brings us to the real secret. The lost word isn't just the alternate Latin phrase. That's not it. The true secret is the freedom to find a new meaning in the first place.
The source material has a great name for this, interpretive flexibility. It's this powerful idea that symbols don't have to be frozen in time, like fossils. They can be living things that we can engage with, question, and reinterpret. A symbol stops being a final answer and instead becomes the starting point for a brand new question.
Now, this freedom doesn't mean it's a total free-for-all. There are some guardrails. Any new interpretation is guided by a few core principles. It needs to be consistent with a scientific worldview, it has to be secular, meaning it's based on reason, not just divine revelation, and it has to be humanistic, centered on our own progress and understanding.
So, at the end of the day, the real value here isn't in just swapping one dogma for another. The value is in the process itself. It's about taking an old symbol, kind of like an alchemist taking lead, and through the power of reason and observation, transforming it into something new and valuable for our own time.
And that leaves us with a pretty powerful question, doesn't it? The story of I.N.R.I. is just one amazing example of how meaning can evolve. It really makes you wonder, what other symbols, stories, or ideas that we take for granted every day are just sitting there, waiting for us to look at them with fresh eyes and unlock a completely new understanding?